Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's a very exciting day for me because your boy is finally getting his iPhone 7 Plus battery changed. Man, I've been using this phone for like 5.5 years now when it first came out, and I haven't changed the battery since. So your boy's been using this every day. Battery health is around, let me check, 74%. Take a look. I feel like I need to charge my phone at least 3 times a day just to get me through what I'm doing. So in a couple minutes, my boy Johnny's gonna come over. He's gonna show you how to change the battery. He does this as a side hobby, so I figured, why not help him out? Oh, what's up?
How's it going?
Good man. Welcome back.
Good man, it's been a minute. How you been?
Been good. Alright, so that's my boy Johnny. He's been fixing phones for quite a long time now, bro. How long have you been doing this for?
About 2 years now.
He's changed my phone screen last year too when I cracked it, but I figured why not give it back to him because he's a professional. So guys, how is the iPhone 7 Plus doing in 2022? Is it still worth it? I will gladly say it all depends. I think this is still a great phone that's able to handle really all my needs right now. I don't think I'm missing out on too many features I would be getting if I had a newer phone, like a nice edge-to-edge retina display, Face ID, or a sharper and better camera. Basically, all the things that you would get with a newer phone. The 7 Plus is working fine for me. I'm running the latest iOS 15 update, and while it's definitely not as fast as it was when I first bought it, at its core, I'm still able to use the 7 Plus for more simple processes like texting my friends, going on Instagram, checking stocks, YouTube Studio, and whatnot. The phone manages to handle it pretty quickly even after 5 years, and that's kind of what I need in a smartphone, to be honest. I don't need the latest and greatest features, and while that would be nice, I'm completely satisfied with my 7 Plus today. Like, I can't stress this enough, it's a good phone. The fact that I'm able to use this today means that you really can get a lot of value out of these old Apple iPhones. Anyways, as you can see, my boy Johnny is putting in a new battery for me because it's long overdue. How much were these batteries itself? I mean, you said you got them from your office, right?
Yeah, these are not too bad because they are third-party ones, but OEM ones are...
Can you even buy OEM ones?
Not really, unless you're like an authorized retailer, which is another story.
iOS 15, while nice and new, doesn't really optimize old phone batteries that well, and even after this replacement at 100% battery health, which you'll see in a second, my phone doesn't nearly last as long as those 8 hours of usage that Apple advertises back then. I get around 3 to 5 hours now with the new battery compared to maybe like 1 hour with the old one that he's swapping out. So that's just proof that Apple does kind of slow down older phones with its newer updates. What can you do? But real quick, let's just show some extra love to this phone before I really tell you what I think about it. The design is just beautiful, as you can probably tell by now. I have a couple of scratches on it, a few nicks at the corners, but as long as you put a case on the phone, I dropped it countless times at knee-high length on concrete. My phone is still safe. The iPhone 7 Plus is rocking that 5.5-inch display, which at the time was pretty big for Apple and can still be considered large even by today's standard. It features a full HD Retina IPS display at a max brightness of 625 nits, which is pretty damn bright. All of my buttons still work great. This includes the power and volume rockers. They are still very audible and I like that. It clicks very well. The home button still works. This was the first iPhone to come with a force-sensitive static touch ID button instead of an old mechanical clicky one. And this was made so that it could reduce the mechanical errors on these old iPhone 6, 6Ss and everything below, like sticky buttons. Now, this was also the first iPhone to remove the headphone jack, which at the time was very surprising because this phone definitely had a lot of controversy back in the day about having no headphone jack, blah, blah, blah. It was eventually going to happen once AirPods rolled out, so the 7 Plus just had to be that phone to have it removed. I really think today not many people talk about it as much anymore. It kind of is just embedded into Apple iPhones. But anyways, I really dig the look of the aluminum build on the back of the iPhone 7 Plus. The version I have here is in matte black. The finish of the phone feels very good, very high quality. It does seem very slippery here and there. That's why I recommend putting a case on it at all times if you're going to be using this phone, or at least, wear one when you go outside to prevent any, damage, especially on those concrete roads. All in all, this feels like a solid and sturdy phone. There's no hard edges and it still works even to this day. So let's remember that the iPhone 7 Plus still holds some impressive hardware. The A10 Bionic 2.3 GHz quad-core chip that's powering this phone is a beast. we're able to run multiple processes pretty well even to this day, plus you get those added 3 gigs of RAM. I'm able to have FaceTime going on while playing a game, and you wouldn't see that much of a performance drop. It can still open and close apps pretty fast. I have no troubles going through Instagram or checking other apps. The phone still feels responsive, just even swiping back and forth, I have no problems with it on the UI, and that's another reason why I like the 7 Plus so much. It's not buggy after 5 years, and it just works great. As long as you take care of it, it will take care of you. Moving on to the camera, I think the 7 Plus still takes amazing photos. The image processing sensor has always been very reliable in iPhones. The 7 Plus autofocus is very fast and daytime photos look great. At the time, it was revolutionary. No smartphone could compete in terms of speed, sharpness, clarity, and usability. And speaking about speed, opening the app is still quick. It's not as fast as it was when I first got it, but when I'm switching through the settings like going through photo to portrait mode or time lapse and video, it's not all that slow. On the other hand, the quality is very great. Seriously, the sensor on this phone with the optical image stabilization makes it look really good in almost any scenario. I think it's underappreciated camera now. Of course, when you compare this to newer phones like the 13 and 13 Pros, there's going to be some grain and noise. The colors aren't going to be as accurate as those newer phones will, but for general needs, I think you can still take some great photos. I mean, this is just a 2016 smartphone, just remember that. So that's really all I have for the iPhone 7 Plus. I think the future is very bright for this phone, having lasted up to iOS 15. Who knows if we'll get iOS 16, 17, and beyond. I'm pretty confident that this phone can last a while if you're careful with it. I did get my screen replaced because I cracked it before, and I swapped the battery as you can see in the video, but as a whole, the outer shell, CPU, and camera, basically the performance out of this phone is still great. Is it worth it in 2022? Well, if you want to buy this phone, I'd say get something else, maybe the iPhone 10 or the SE. If you're going to look at something refurbished, I think those are definitely newer, has a faster CPU and better battery, camera life, and whatnot. The 7 Plus wouldn't be worth your money now compared to those, but if you still have a 7 Plus, let me know how it is. Are you still rocking it? How's that battery? Have you had any problems with it? Talk to me in the comments down below. I want to know if you guys have this great phone. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like the iPhone 7 Plus as much as I do, drop a like down below. Hit that subscribe button. That's all I have for today's video. And until the next one, I'll see you guys then.
It's a nice table, like this.
Oh, you have this one?
No, but I like this. It's nice.
Okay.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
I'm excited. Hopefully I get a few more years out of this phone. I'd say give it 2 more years.
I would say with good, you just handle it good, it should be good. But if you have any issues, you can just shoot me a DM.
Oh, yo, thanks so much, Johnny.
Of course.
Thanks for everything.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
Phone will be treating me new. Well, hopefully good for the next few years.